we started with a brand where our forte was customization and comfort.
Doesn't that sort of hinder the scale at which you can do business?
Digital marketing is so dynamic. I would love for someone to actually be very confident and very certain that this is how it's going to happen. You cannot, because when it comes to consumer sentiments, there are so many factors that add on to it.
What was your marketing strategy while building this brand?
With new business owners, I've always seen the challenge that everyone wants to multitask and be everywhere. It's not possible. Irrespective of you being salaried or a business owner, your savings has to start somewhere. And don't have far-fetched, unrealistic goals. Now, start small, 5,000. If he comes home and he's given the salary, which again 90% of the house done, she will do all the shopping. She will run the house. She will give it to the...
And yet manage to save.
Yes.
Women are good at doing this. Somehow we've just never been empowered enough to do it. And this is the dynamic that we're trying to change. Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Happy Hour with Fin Cocktail. Today we have someone very interesting with us. She started off as a jewelry technologist and an MBA, and now, let me stop myself there so that I get this correctly. Now she runs a footwear and accessories manufacturing and designing house. Let's welcome Aprajita Tur. Hi Aprajita.
Hi Niyati, how are you? And thank
Good.
you so much for having me here.
I'm glad you could make it.
Yes.
So from, being an MBA and a jewelry technologist to starting this venture of designing shoes, how did that come about?
I think Niyati, the need, firstly, in Indian fashion industry, the emphasis on apparel and the luxury segment, especially for apparel, was very strong. And it was always definitely number one, the outlet for creativity. That was something that I always wanted. And, revival of craftsmanship. And especially in a segment like footwear, where what we were lacking was customization. So I think one thing led to another. And we started with a brand where our forte was customization and comfort. And then style and probably, how you would want to match your trends was something which was very secondary to us.
Right. Interesting. But when you talk about customization, doesn't that sort of hinder the scale at which you can do business?
I completely agree. It does. It doesn't hinder. I would say it slows your pace comparatively, but the amount of reach and education you can provide to the consumer is immense. Like a very small example, I know of for my own self that I know that my feet are extremely slender and long, and I know that I've been compromising and wearing a different size because I would not get the standard one which is matching my foot in the market. This was an awareness that was extremely imperative, that was required. So I think that was something we were very prepared for when we were entering into the segment, that A, it has to be customization, B, it has to be comfort.
Right. Very interesting. So, when did you start your brand, and how have you managed to grow it over the past several years?
I think we started off somewhere towards the end of 2011, starting of 12. And it was right after I had finished my internship with Mudra, and I realized that I definitely can't work under somebody, and my creativity needs to be channelized so I don't start, just getting crazy mad at home.
Correct.
And I had just had a baby. So, I think it was everything just seamlessly fell in place. One thing led to another. Although we started at a very, very small scale. I outsourced my work, started in a very small batch of shoes. And then I promised him that, within 6 months, I'm going to, give you a little more work. But unfortunately, he was a job work manufacturing unit, and he leaked out the designs to most of the renowned local shoe stores. So, which again led to another step where we decided that, whether we have just like 2 craftsmen, we don't have too many craftsmen, let's start something of our own.
Very interesting.
So that's how, the
So that must have
workshop,
been a very
it was
big
a setback.
setback in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
initial phase of
But I
growing the
think
brand.
it still is, when
Yeah?
you see people copying your work, I'm sorry, Niyati, setbacks are still there. You
I know.
spend months and months designing styles and creating something different and unique, thinking, chalo yaar, this is going to be a bomber, this is going to be something very good, this is going to be a hit. And then 6 months you see someone
Copying the style.
inspired. No, I would not want to call it copy. They'll get inspired.
Inspired.
Yeah, it's a more posh or a more more nicer way to address that. You don't want to call it a copy. I was inspired.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah.
No, I get it because even in our field, every day, Siley and me are sitting and brainstorming, like, this content piece and that content piece and how to make things different. And then the next thing someone's gone ahead
Absolutely.
and just
And
changed the words
you
around,
will
got inspired.
you'll totally understand the pain, because it's, and I understand it's just an idea, but you have your set of research that you've done when you were educating yourself as a wealth management person,
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
which probably the person who is on the other side who's doing this podcast parallel to what you're doing doesn't carry that knowledge. But
Absolutely, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. But there's I think this is something that happens in every industry. It's just something that
yeah,
you have
but
to
I'm
deal
still
with. and-
struggling to grow that thick skin on this. I have to confess.
Yeah.
It takes time. It takes time. Like, as a creative person, it's a setback because you just feel designing is not everything. There's so much more that goes into as an investment when you're putting your mind into it. You're trying to constantly create something new.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah. So you mentioned that you started your brand in 2011, 2012. At that point in time, social media was just about starting to influence businesses.
yeah.
What impact did that have on you sort of trying to grow your brand? Did you use it as something that, as a tool to grow your brand, or did that sort of come into the picture much later?
No, I think, Niyati, fortunately, everything went quite hand in hand for us. That, learning Instagram, for example, as a platform, or learning any other platform which was in social media at that time, because it was new, there was a lot more exposure for us to understand a lot of things. And we were very certain we wanted to be e-com based initially.
Okay.
So, I would say I will very happily give credit that these social media platforms only helped reach a bigger audience.
Right.
Because at that time, the target audience or the TG we were having were the young independent women whom we had in mind who would wear it to office or who's stepping out. So I think, and we somewhere knew that this was the audience that is going to be somewhere aware and at par with the social media development that was happening.
Right.
So I think that really helped.
And how has that changed over the years? Are you still used?
drastically? You tell me. Haven't you seen that? Like, as a
I
as
have,
a
I have, but I want to
progression?
know in terms of, like, for us, it's very different as compared to a brand or a product.
I think whenever technology grows, you'll always have positives and negatives to it.
Sure.
And gradually what happens is you just learn to grow around it, even with disadvantages, because see, at the end of it, there are so many people who are coming to start off businesses.
Yeah.
So obviously, if even this is a very technical space, that if I'm doing a marketing ad, for example, and I'm bidding or doing a particular ad, and then there are 300, 400, and I'm giving a very small number also bidding. So for a platform like an Instagram, for that matter, or Facebook, they will have to also work around to place accordingly for the same set of audience or the same set of location that the consumer is being targeted at.
Correct.
So like I said, this is a little technical, but I feel that there has been tremendous positive changes that have come. But
And you've seen, like, business
yeah,
grow
yeah, yeah,
through
absolutely.
social media platforms for you?
Yes, 100%. Obviously, there are other marketing factors
Oh,
also
of
that get
course, of
added
course.
on apart from just the social media. But yes, because see, when there is anything new that comes in, like I'm talking about, I come from the age where TV was introduced in the sense, your serials and
Yeah.
your Star Plus and everything. So whenever there's newness, you also, out of curiosity, participate to be ahead.
Correct. Correct.
So similarly, I think with social media also, that has been constantly something that's played parallelly, with business growth. So like,
Right.
yeah, 100%, like I said, that there are negatives to it.
Hmm.
But there are
And what would you say is a big negative for you?
the algorithm.
Sucks,
Please, yeah,
man.
please.
I don't want to go out there and say
yeah,
that.
yeah,
but
I
it's-
know. Plus, I have my education in marketing. So, but we've not done digital marketing. We've just done MBA marketing. So, this traditional marketing MBA, jo hum karke aate hain. So, if I have to go back, digital marketing is so dynamic.
Yeah.
I would love for someone to actually be very confident and, very certain that this is how it's going to happen. You cannot, because when it comes to consumer sentiments, there are so many factors that add on to it.
Yeah.
Market sentiment, consumer sentiment. It could be whether it's a festive or a non-festive. It could be a news that is affecting. It could be how the platform is being controlled by, there's so many factors.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Algorithm. I would just
Yeah.
want to sum it up like that. Nirti.
And since you've touched upon marketing, I just want to sort of take you back and sort of revisit what was your marketing strategy while building this brand, your branding and marketing strategy? Because I'll tell you, there's a lot of shoe designers out
Yeah.
there, Aprajita. It's not like,
Yeah,
there
of
aren't.
course.
But to be able to stand out the way you have, to be able to take your brand to where it is at today, 12 years later, what was the thought process, and what are few of the strategies that you sort of used to put yourself out there, to make your brand known, to make your brand distinguishable?
I think
Tell us a little bit about that.
I would just say that the main foundation was definitely the ethos that we were very, very certain about, that we were catering to an audience where we wanted to give quality and comfort. And I know you'll have every business owner come back and tell these, the similar line of thought that, we were looking at giving them comfort and quality. But in our case, we would invest in doing a lot of research on what cushion we should use, that she could stand there for 8 hours without feeling pressurized. And it might again go into the technicality, but the difference between a 4 mm and a 3 mm, and it's an difference, and the impact and the change it will make to us moving into a memory foam cushioning, which normally we use in the beds.
Yeah.
So your
Pillows in
back,
beds,
yeah, and that is something we evolved in moving into. So for me, 100% design was something that was always in the forefront.
Yeah.
But what was more for us was definitely the quality and the comfort factor. And I think what was very important for me was that I was obsessed about the classic toe loop strap silhouette. There was something about it. I've always loved it.
Yeah, Kolhapuris are a classic. So
And you would find them only in flats, and at the max that 1 inch,
little heel at the back. Yeah.
And for us to give that entire thing a makeover, from your pencil heels
To
to
a
your
block
stiletto,
heel
anything
and-
you name
yeah.
it, and we've done it. So
Yeah.
we were always, those earlier, the ones to start it. And then of course there were people who followed, who got inspired, which they will still continue to get inspired. Can't take that away.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know that you lay a lot of emphasis on local craftsmanship
Yes.
and employing local craftsmen. How do you sort of go about with that process? Where do you find the right fit of people who can make the right quality that you're actually sort of looking to deliver to your customers?
It's actually become more difficult, because now handmade footwear is gradually moving into the machine segment. Like, you would want your machines to replace
So all your shoes are absolutely
completely
fully handmade.
Yes. The only place I think we would probably do a little bit of machine is, your stitch, so that it doesn't the
Fall apart.
Yes. Or the durability factor, for it to be a little more strong. But everything is handmade. So, it's not easy to get craftsmen now, especially because people don't want to take it as a career opportunity. It's a lot of intensive labor. It's something that requires you to sit there for hours and make footwear.
Yeah.
And there is absolutely no machine help. So, it's very similar to our Zari guys as well. So all our embroidery guys. So everything, Niyati, for us happens in-house.
Wow.
Only it's the material that's outsourced.
Right.
And we were very certain from the very beginning we wanted that, but only to not allow copying.
Correct.
And still, we've had our karigars.
Being poached.
Yeah. And I can't blame them. See, it's getting even a better remuneration or getting better money, of course.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. Look where we are headed. It's at the end of it, you want a better life, you want for your children.
Of course.
So even if it's for a couple of thousands or even a little bit, they have. And then they want to come back. And then, it's very difficult for us to turn around, because
Yeah.
but so we've always wanted everything under one roof. So even for the Zari guys, it's very difficult to find craftsmen. So we will have to, it's always networking rooted via. So you'll have one karigar going and finding the other one. And it's more
So
word
that's
of
how you're
yeah.
sort of employing
Yes.
your
yes.
team.
obviously they are put through like almost a 15-day placement.
Training.
Yeah, at least.
But how did you yourself learn so much about shoes and the technicalities of it to be able to sort of
Yeah, but Niyati, it's literally education only, in these 10 years. It's literally me being in college with my karigars being my teachers.
yeah.
It's literally they've literally held my hand and run me through processes. So it's so funny that I don't understand the other I think formal terms for certain things,
Hmm.
and I know the local terms for it.
Yeah.
It's ironic.
Because
But
you
I
worked with your
yes,
karigars
and that's what they've taught
hand
me.
in hand.
Yeah, and that's what they've taught me. So when we used to do earlier fashion shows, we've spent night like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. in the karkhana. And especially if you're talking about 12 and 13, I don't think people were even still then that progressive to be comfortable. Arey, woman boss,
Correct.
though, there are 2, 3 karigars and she's sitting there at. But I think but I have to give them the credit. They
Yeah.
have. They've really been good teachers.
Absolutely. So you mentioned that you did fashion shows and stuff back in the day.
Yes.
How did that sort of happen for you? And tell us, what did you get to learn when you were actually doing these national, international fashion shows? Was there like a learning curve? Did that help you build your brand name stronger?
I think the turning point was when we did Project Runway for New York.
Okay.
And that was when Saisha was representing, and she was a part at Saisha Shinde. She
Yeah.
was in Project Runway. And I think, I don't know how she found us, but that was such a beautiful turning point because we had just done our Gladiators. And seeing them on Project Runway, oh my God, I have to tell you, Niyati, it was such a beautiful feeling. This was about 2014. And initially, when I started my career, that was the first Lakme I did was for Debarun.
Okay.
Again, it was a fabulous experience. Learning to khair abhi bhi chal rahi hai.
Hmm.
That just doesn't stop.
Abhibi, you participate in fashion
No,
shows and stuff?
we don't have the time per se, and we are not able to. But as and when we get a chance, absolutely.
So, I know that you're the creative director and, the creative head at Aprajita Tour, but, there's a lot of things that go behind managing a business.
Yes.
It's not just the creative side, it's marketing, it's branding, it's finance, it's accounting, it's administrative work. How do you do it all?
See, that's a myth, Niyati. And I would like to clarify, and at least I'm speaking this for myself. As a creative, and I would also take the marketing in under my wing. As a creative and marketing person, there is only so much you can contribute. And it's great to, macro level, you just look at everything. But at a micro level, there are only selective projects that you can participate in. Like in my case, I cannot do without my team. My team is brilliant, whether it's from your admin to all the departments that you've listed. And I need them because they're my backbone.
Hmm.
And finance, I will not touch. It's my husband. He's the number guy. It's always been like he took a complete change of career because he realized that as the business was growing, it became very important that you need to give it the right direction.
Yeah.
And see, I'm not saying I'm bad with finance, but I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it.
It's not your forte.
It's literally like me telling you that, listen, let's do something which is more on the creative line or branding line.
Yeah.
You wouldn't enjoy it because number is something that you really enjoy.
Yeah.
And that's in capacity for everyone. Not everyone can do everything. And that's how it should be. Like, I know I'm a creative person. You tell me design in the middle of the night, I'll come up with a mood board. And literally 10 minutes.
Hmm.
But that's how I have probably, got that skill gradually on job. Marketing, yes. But if it comes to numbers, like it's great. I understand. And I literally tell him to explain things and break down things for me because it's not something that I enjoy.
Hmm.
And when you don't enjoy it, you don't participate enough.
Correct.
Then it's a majboori.
Yeah. But at least you're taking interest in the fact that you want to know the macro level.
Yeah, but that's because you're also a business owner, no?
Yeah,
So there are
yeah.
10 things. It's literally like you're a business owner for your podcast.
Yeah.
Example. So you will need to know 10 things that are running.
Hmm.
But you can't be in those 10 places.
Absolutely.
There is only that one thing that you excel at, and that's what you're going to be doing.
And that's okay.
And that has to be okay. Like people, with new business owners, I've always seen the challenge that everyone wants to multitask and be everywhere. It's not possible. Let's accept it. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And if you have to break it down, you need to pick up something that you're good at and probably do micro level execution in that. But macro is, it's very
Absolutely.
difficult. And I think, Niyati, you will be able to relate to it so much. No, there's a beautiful division between Siley and you.
Absolutely.
How you guys, there is certain things that you will not cross your boundary and go in because that is something you don't understand. And there is something I'm sure from her side you all don't.
Absolutely, it's exactly like that. She is the creative director and head at Fin Cocktail, and I'm more of the research person. I'm more of the behind the scenes kind
So
of
that's
person.
exactly what happens with us. Like in that case, my husband becomes the finance and then the manpower handling, the production handling. So we've very very beautifully divided the work, but we keep overlapping. So
Of
there
course,
are, and
you
it's
can't
crazy.
help that.
It's crazy because the overlaps are literally like arguments and fights.
Yeah.
So
But
been there, done
how
that.
is it working with your spouse? Is it easy? Is it difficult? Does it
I
have
think I
pros and cons?
I feel bad for him because he's the nice guy. He's the one who's most of the time he'll just
Calm.
yeah he's the one I think who lets me have my way because I think I just I think probably in creative side I just become a little more aggressive that no I know my designs very well.
Yeah.
But I think gradually over the years, you then, just gradually develop that understanding, I would say, that you then give the other person a chance and understand from what perspective they are coming. So
Correct.
that perspective then, and I think it's age, you just evolve.
Yeah, I agree. So how do you manage to keep your footwear styles relevant? I mean, you're doing this since 10 years.
Wow, that's.
Things have changed so much.
Niti, I was not expecting this question.
Things
It's nice.
evolve so much.
Yeah.
And I know that Kolhapuris are timeless, but still, to appeal to the younger audience, I feel like I don't even know if today's 15-year-olds know those kind of shoes. Like, when we were that age, we were literally like living in them, we're wearing them to college, wearing them everywhere.
Yes.
I don't know if that's still the case.
But isn't they were just talking about Y2K, yeah? They were just talking about bringing up Y2K. Everything which is vintage and nostalgia is something which is going to be evergreen forever. And I'm telling you, it is like that. And I was never the kinds to follow trends. I cannot, unfortunately. So for
And
me,
yet your shoes are so trendy. Let me
thank you
say it
so
like
much.
that.
I love it. Thank you. No, but I've obviously consciously never tried to match up to trends. Also, because I don't come from a fashion school background. So I've never spent that time understanding what goes in a collection. And that was all on job. So every time I had someone coming in on board from, a space in merchandising or in marketing, but because they have the education, because your curriculum is exposed to literally every aspect when you do in a fashion school. That's when they used to just teach me, you need to do it like that. That's how your collection should be. Don't get all excited and keep manufacturing every 1 week a collection. Calm. You just need to
Focus
slow
on
down.
one thing,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I think that really helped because otherwise I would just come up. I was like, no, I need to give variety to my consumer. I need to give them more variety to my customer. Every 2 weeks I'd be ready
With a new line.
with a new design.
With a new
Obviously,
design,
there
of
would be
course.
an
Production and
execution
all that is
process.
different.
Yes. And because we control the production, so things would become even more easier for us.
Yeah.
So that has definitely changed. And I don't know. With the trend, I would not try to sound like I'm not boasting and I'm not trying to be arrogant, but I think I would just give that credit to my brain.
Your
No, but I genuinely don't follow trends. That is something I don't.
Yeah, but what do you do to stay relevant? How do you
This is a beautiful line which I used to say that inspiration can come to someone anywhere, and a creative person would very well relate to it. It could just be one of the rings I'm wearing. I look at it and I think about something, and I could just evolve looking at your mic, and you can come up. And that's how most of the creative people are. A little delulu, a little delusional, a little eccentric.
Yeah.
And I think that's about it. Formally, because I've not educated, I think that is a process I don't understand.
Correct.
So for me, these things become so much more easier.
Yeah.
Like when we did our Kaya Gladiators, for me, my inspiration were the Burman tribe. So trend is something I take time to latch on to only when I'm forced by my consumer that, you know what, we like to do these particular thing, like this particular style in this silhouette. Can you add your touch to it?
Sure.
That's something we work around.
Amazing. You said that you have a pretty much like women-centric team.
Oh, yes.
Lots of women in there. It's kind of like Fin Cocktail, where
Totally.
we're also a full woman team. How do you sort of consciously keep it that way, or is it like
नहीं,
in an
नहीं,
effort to
consciously किया नहीं
empower
था.
other women, just like you have been empowered?
It was never a conscious effort per se, but I don't know, I never gave it so much of a thought.
Okay.
Now that you're saying it, I am like literally thinking out about it. But I guess it's got to do a lot with women empowerment, because my production team, that's your blue collars, how do you like to say, my craftsmen are all men.
Okay.
But you know, in the north side, when you go towards Delhi or Agra side, there are women karigars. I have been looking for women karigars. मिलती नहीं है यहाँ पे.
Nee?
नहीं.
But is it a skill that women are unwilling to learn? Like, is it
I
not
don't know, or
easy
it's-
for you
it's
to sort
also-
of
it's-
teach and develop these karigars?
So the other thing is, Niyati, that Bombay per se, cost-wise, again coming to your financial side, is not easy in terms of overheads to maintain and run a manufacturing unit. You know, your overheads tend to be a little
Higher.
more higher side. When you go towards the north side, it's more easier because you have a lot of population in terms of craftsmen that move around circle there. So Bombay becomes a little off the radar when they have to travel back. It takes them 2 days to go back to their village.
Wow.
And I'm talking about something if someone is somewhere in UP,
Right.
a hypothetical example. And I have no reasoning why Delhi has more, but I have seen with my own eyes women craftsmen, and I think even Kolhapur does have.
Women
I
craftsmen.
think they do. Yes, yes,
Amazing.
they do. But I have definitely this on my top wish list, that this is something I'm going to be executing very, very soon, where I will get women craftsmen.
Nice.
So we have women who are doing not the footwear directly, but all the accessories that are a part of the footwear are also manufactured. So that's also a women-centric space. So they are craftsmen, but then they don't do the heavy work.
Right.
They'll do the braiding of your, anything
Those
that is.
putties that go on top of the
Yes,
shoes.
yes.
The
I
shoe
was
strap.
not able to
It's
find
okay.
the right word.
Putty is good.
So anything which is related to that, or anything that is not going to be heavy, extensive labor, is also something that comes to them, because that much training is something we can control and participate in.
Correct.
But in my office, 110%, it's completely women, and it's a madhouse. And we really enjoy.
Yeah, I'm sure. Touching upon a little bit on the finance side of things, I know you don't like talking about money and numbers and all
No,
that.
I
but
can do ABC. Huh? That's like the bare basic.
I'm asking you ABC only.
Perfect.
Is there a pricing strategy? Because I'm sure that there is a price point which can make your shoes affordable and accessible to a larger segment of your target audience.
Yes.
So, what sort of
So I
goes?
think,
What's the thought process behind that?
Number one would be your overheads that start off with. Apart from that, it's a full manufacturing house that is housing craftsmen. It's not something that we are outsourcing. So we don't have someone machine made sitting and manufacturing
somebody
in
doing
bulk.
job work for you.
Yeah, this is literally a manufacturing unit that produces footwear every day. So you, Niyati, places an order on a Prajda Tour official. If it's available in the inventory, because we don't create inventory.
You
You've-
only manufacture basis the order.
Yes.
Oh.
So we are sitting on very limited inventory.
Okay.
So that ready to
Interesting.
ship model works in a very formulated way, where we've curated that these are the styles are something we can create an inventory
Correct.
for. You can't sit. It's again coming back to it's Mumbai. The space crunch is real.
Absolutely. And what's the turnaround time, if I may ask? Like,
So
if I place the order today,
on a good day, when our order books are running on a decent speed, we should finish something by 3 to 4 working days.
okay.
But on the website we mentioned that we do about 6 to 7 business days for delivery, but we've done in 24 hours also. Fashion shows, no?
Yeah.
We've done turnaround in hours.
Wow. So this brings me to my last question. Being a business owner means you have to take some money decisions at some point in time. I know your husband helps you a lot with it, but how is it that you manage your money at work and also your personal wealth? Because I know that you also have a family.
Yes.
You need this sort of plan.
But Niyanti, saving is something which is very important for all of us, whether you are
Absolutely.
salaried or you're a business owner.
But
There
that's
is-
something that most people don't understand. You're
Yeah.
saying it very obviously, but this is our struggle. Like Siley and me speak to so many people on a daily basis who've reached a certain stage in their life, probably their mid-30s, 40s. They've got families, but no savings.
I'll give you a very small, irrelevant example. When you're getting into fitness, what do they tell you? Start. Be
Hmm.
consistent.
Correct.
Start small. 10,000 स्टेप करने की जरूरत नहीं है, 1000 करो, पर
Hmm.
करो. That's how they say, no?
Absolutely.
I think that's a life goal, no? You need to show up, you need to do it. And don't have far-fetched, unrealistic goals. ना अब मुझे 1 लाख डाल के करना है. No, start small. 5,000.
Hmm.
You need to start somewhere. It's basic.
Hmm.
So, when the pressure, what happens is because firstly, there's so much information all over the internet. There's everyone coming there and being the finance guru. And when you have so many people giving you so
Gyan.
many advices, it becomes very overwhelming. Even social media today is in general overwhelming for all the topics. Astrology nikal lo, news nikal lo, finance nikal lo, jisko karna hai. And so somewhere I relate to the consumer who's absorbing and consuming this content, that it's so confusing.
Hmm.
And then there is a standard of life or living that you need to maintain. So that's why I said that irrespective of you being salaried or a business owner, your savings has to start somewhere.
Yeah.
So there's a very beautiful example today. I told somebody from my office is a big fan of you guys.
Yeah.
So my husband, we were just discussing and he said, he's like, you start small. You don't necessarily have to take these big leaps and jumps, whether it's an SIP or whatever you want to, whether it's even a land or a small piece of any investment in terms of a property.
Yeah.
He's like, it has to start somewhere. You'll have to figure out whether it's a fixed deposit you want to start. Like hypothetically, it's 1 lakh, that's your salary. You know that 5,000 is a fixed I need to put aside.
Hmm.
So then you will work around your other means, whether it's even going out for dinner, it's doing anything which is irrelevant around it.
Hmm.
And that is a planning that someone has to start at their level. No motivator can come in and change it. No, I'm sorry, but no amount of wealth management coach talks can change this.
Yep.
It's something which is very self-driven. Like I said,
Absolutely.
fitness. ये नहीं कि 10,000 step आज ही करूँगी. Like for me, to complete 2 kilometers take 20 minutes. So for 10,000 steps and 2,000 steps हो जाते हैं 2 किलोमीटर में. तो पूरा दिन थोड़ा चलती रहूँगी मैं. So
Absolutely.
it's like I said, it's an irrelevant point, but that's how it's consistency and showing up.
Absolutely. It's literally like that. Like, if nobody can force you to.
How do you do it? Why don't you give the audience also a little heads up? No, you should also. It's your podcast.
Of
You need to
course,
pass some 2 bits.
This is all I do on a daily basis, but sure, why not today also again?
Yeah, like this is
I
so
will give
important.
my
I
2
will
bits.
learn something from you.
But honestly, this is a journey which started for me when I was 18. I started investing in SIPs. My mom used to do it.
I was
on
just
my
going to. I
behalf.
was just going to
No, no,
ask you
so
who
just-
told you to do it.
My mom.
See, for me, if I have to go back, like the way you were just about to start, that it was your mom.
Hmm.
Like my dad has always done his little bits of share. They were very focused. They listen, you get into a banking segment, get a job which is very stable. You're going to get married later, on those lines. And I got married to somebody who was very different and very progressive in his thinking. That for him, me being independent was everything.
Hmm.
He's like, it doesn't matter. Irrespective of your gender, you need to be independent. And I think that's what I'm teaching my kids as well. I want to understand when you said you started at 18, and that's very young. I'm sure nowadays kids have started doing it much earlier. What was your driving force? Like, how did it happen and how should people do it?
So I'll just tell you very simply how it happened for me was that when I was 18, my mom started some SIPs in my name and she was the one doing the investing. At 18, I didn't have an income. But at 22, when I got my first job, it was an internship. It wasn't even a full-time. It was a full-time internship, but not a proper job. And I used to get a stipend of 5,000 rupees. And out of that 5,000 rupees, she made me invest 2,000 rupees.
It's very
saying
important.
that I don't care, I said, but it's only 5,000 rupees. And she said, it doesn't matter how much ever it is. You need to take aside some part of it and put it in your SIPs, because otherwise, tomorrow when this 5,000 becomes 50,000, if you're not in this habit of saving,
Yes.
you'll blow up this 50,000 and you'll never know what happened to it.
But you also you do realize, no, your mom's passed a legacy now. Now this is something you'll tell your child,
Yeah, absolutely.
and you will also tell your close, near, and dear ones, whether it's friends
that's,
or
that's
it's
exactly the thought process behind Fin Cocktail, right? Like, because Sally and me only started this because we realized that there's so many of our own close
Yes.
friends that are doing phenomenally well in life, earning amazing, good jobs, stable jobs, business owners, entrepreneurs, everything, but somehow they're just not involved in managing their own money.
yeah.
Either somebody's taking the decision for them, or they just don't know what's happening to their
No,
money.
but you know,
so that's
we will again go back to the same thing of how the society has conditioned us, that the man of the house takes the decision.
absolutely
But actually, and this is the topic we've discussed in office, it is the woman of the house,
absolutely
because she is running the house. So technically, she's doing everything. If he comes home and he's given the salary, which again 90% of the house done, she will do
She'll-
all the shopping. She will run the house. She will give it to the
and yet manage to save.
yes. So उससे बड़ा कौन कर सकता है?
So exactly, it's inherently
Yes.
true that women are good at doing this, but also that somehow men have always been at the forefront of managing money.
No, but I have seen in both my houses, like my in-laws and my parents. My dad would just come give the money, and my mom has done it. The only difference here would be she's not invested in a share.
Correct. It's
So-
just like cash that
वो
you
नहीं
saved
किया,
up
वो
over the
नहीं
years.
किया, but she saved money. Yeah,
Correct,
she
correct.
did. Like my mother-in-law, they've built properties over the years, and my father-in-law's participation was I would go to work and come home, and she's run the house, and so beautifully she's
Yeah.
done it.
Yeah.
And they've built so many properties
Correct. So
and retired.
yeah, yeah, and retired like comfortably,
Yeah,
where they don't have to worry
No,
about like
see-
getting like probably not the same lifestyle that they were living. but
that's what
theek
I
hai.
was just going to add.
If you're going to take a little bit of a,
We all do, no?
everybody
we all
does. करना ही पड़ता है.
Yeah, we all do.
So the point of all this is that women are good at doing this. Somehow we've just never been empowered enough to do it, and this is the dynamic that we're trying to change.
So, when we were discussing this in the office, and there was somebody who's moved cities and now is living all by herself. Same challenge. That, I want to understand my finances better. And I said, the best example I can give you is what you told me about your mom right now. You learn it from your mom. You've seen her plan at home. And I'm not saying it's every household. Every household is going to be different. I grew up in a household where my mother was not exposed to SIPs. She would never understand what mutual funds are. And which is okay. I still don't. I try reading. I try understanding your Nifty and everything. And then after some time, I'll just close the window and move ahead. It's not my cup of tea. But at the same time, either you get hold of someone who can help you understand that, or just do smaller savings.
Yeah.
Like it just could be 5,000 rupees, 2,000, like you said. I'm saying 18, it's not that long back.
Yeah.
Always start small.
Start small. That's the key. Start small and be consistent. Those are the
Yes.
only two things that I like to tell people when they're in a situation where, kabhi kiya hi nahi hai savings. Okay, it's not the end of the world. You can start today, but the point is to be consistent. आज 2,000 रुपए किए, next month फिर वापस 500 रुपए ही सेव किए तो नहीं चलेगा.
Yeah, but you have to sacrifice something somewhere.
You
And
have to.
It's
You have
it's
to.
not the best advice I'm saying when I'm saying you have to sacrifice
this is for your
somewhere,
future
but
self.
it is for your future self.
It's only for your future self.
Yes.
So you sacrifice now to give yourself a better sort of life going
Yes.
ahead. Give your family a better life.
I agree.
Everything. So yeah, great. So this is an amazing chat, Aprajita. I'm
Niyati.
so glad you could make it here.
I'm so
and
happy that you brought
I
me out.
am definitely going to come pay you a visit very, very soon at
I hope
your
so.
shop.
Look forward to seeing you. Guys, like, share, and subscribe in the same order to Fin Cocktail to get better knowledge about wealth management.